Now, I want your calls on this. Do you get more right-wing with age? 02078622222 is the number. Tell us what you think. It's claimed the age people start voting Tory instead of Labour is now 63. YouGov looked at the general election voting results and found the median age of Tory supporters has risen by 24 years since the previous national poll. It fell to as young as 34 when David Cameron managed to win over younger voters to his side. You might have heard the phrase, middle age is when a broad mind and a narrow waist exchange places. I think I might have made that up. Is there any truth to that? Well, we're going to have a little a test, the scale on the floor. Here we go. And we have, on the right side, over on the left, if you like, Karl Marx, the most extreme, on the left of the spectrum, Genghis Khan over here, on the right, and somewhere in the middle, the young Yasmin. How old are you here, Yasmin?
That was my first year as a journalist. I was 37.
37 there. Well, you actually look pretty much the same.
No.
Where are we going to put you? Somewhere between Genghis and Karl.
A foot and a half.
Just about there?
After the centre.
Right.
Yeah.
So slightly left of centre. And this is Yasmin now. Where are we going to put you?
A foot away from the end.
OK, so you have bucked the trend.
I'm very much more left-wing now.
About here? Does that feel about right?
Yeah.
OK, here we have the young Mike Parry, looking pretty much like Noel Edmonds.
Absolutely.
I think. Where are we going to put you, Mike?
Well, you can put me quite close to Genghis Khan, although, can I say, politically and lifestyle-wise, there's nothing very similar between myself and Genghis Khan. But if you're using him as a symbol of the right side of politics,
yes,
very close to Genghis Khan.
OK, so we're going to put you here.
Yeah.
This is the young Mike. How old were you in that picture?
21.
21
you
there.
were already there then?
Yes,
wow.
Absolutely.
You didn't leave yourself a lot of room to travel there, Mike. OK, this is the current Mike. Where are we going to put you?
Can you put that straight on top, please? Because I haven't wavered in my beliefs.
So we're going to put
I meant on top of my other picture.
You are, in fact... Oh, dear.
Because I haven't wavered in my beliefs in my whole life. I've never doubted my political beliefs. I've never thought I was wrong. And I've been very consistent throughout my rise into early middle age.
OK, so you are now... Actually, you were leaning to the right of Genghis Khan.
OK.
Slightly there.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. What is it that makes people travel politically in one direction or another? Was there something that's happened to you during those years, Yasmin, that's made you more left-leaning, left-believing?
Well, I'll tell you what, two big things made me move in that direction. One was when, after Blair was elected, Tony Blair was elected, and I danced in the street in 1997, and the first term was brilliant. He did everything he could for the education of the most kind of lost children of our country, a lot of good stuff. And then he joined up with George Bush and took us to war, which was a complete right-wing conspiracy by the United States. So I got very upset, moved a little bit more. And then all these years under these Tories, how can I not be shifting more and more? I hate them all.
I wonder how much of that is about the centre moving rather than you moving, because a lot of people say that actually it was not about my movement. It was just that the centre is further right,
but, you know, when you
shifted to the right.
The austerity measures, George Osborne probably is responsible for the biggest leap I made.
OK. Mike, how about you? That journey that you made to become Genghis Khan or an equivalent, what was the shift for you?
Well, my philosophy in life is that everybody's got to look after themselves if they can. And those who can look after themselves must look after those who can't. That's a civilised society. Now, since the age of about 13, I've always had a job, whether it was a newspaper delivery, whether it was working at the weekends and all that. And I've always loved working and enjoyed working. And I've always had a view on those who didn't work when they could work.
Let's see how many people agree with you. Pete's in Sheffield. Which direction have you moved, Pete?
Oh, good morning. When I was a young man of 17, I was thinking of joining the Young Communist League, you know, the Manchester branch of the Young Communist League, because they were against the Vietnam War, strangely enough. And I've always been anti-war in any case. And the only thing I've never changed since I was a young man, I'm still a Man United supporter.
OK, but like you, pacifism is the thing that you associate with the left side of politics, and that was the attraction.
Yes.
Right.
But, well, I'm going to tell you the strangest thing is that the reason I did not join the Communist Party is because Russia invaded Czechoslovakia.
Right.
And a friend of mine was a Czechoslovakian, and he'd been throwing petrol bombs at the Russian tanks.
Yeah.
And I've been helping him to come to this country.
So, Pete,
illegally, by the way.
where would you put yourself on that line now, then?
Well, actually, I would class myself. I'm reform. I voted for reform this time because I can't. The Conservative Party doesn't seem to exist anymore. It seems to be a big joke, to be frank with you.
So you've travelled almost the entire distance. If we're going to say that reform represents, the extreme right of politics in this country.
I think it represents conservatism. But to be frank with you, in my dad's day, the reason I became a lefty in those days. Well, my dad was a very strong, he was more like a fascist. I used to call him a fascist because he was a Tory. Right. He was a power light and all that, and I was anti all those type of things. But now, sadly enough, at 73, I've become a right old, how's your father? Well, actually, I'm thinking about becoming my dad, to be frank with you.
Right.
Mind you, he was a City supporter anyway. So.
You're not going to go that far. You wouldn't go that far. It's interesting. A lot of us do become our dads as we get older. Let's take another call from Bill in Manchester. Where are you on the line now? And where were you if you were a young man at the time, Bill?
Right. I went to college at the age of 30, luckily, mature students. Before that, I was all over the place, left, right, centre. I even voted Tory once, which I'm ashamed of. But when I went to college, a mature students' college up in Scotland, I met loads of people who were in the communist parties, Trotskyists, whatever, and I started reading Karl Marx and various other people on the left, and it made me understand the class structure of society. If you don't understand that, you'll never know what's happening. Most politicians are witting or unwitting pawns, if you like, being manipulated by the big power elites, the big power blocks.
OK, so Bill, that was college at 30. Where are you now? Are you still there? Still slightly to the left of Yasmin?
Quite a lot to the left of Yasmin. I just sent her a text. I don't know if she'll get it.
OK.
You should be able to bury people who play divide and rule, playing off pensioners against. They spend $250 billion on weapons that make money for arms people, shareholders. The American congressmen who are also shareholders, NATO, vested interest in wars. There's a whole panoply of stuff that people don't grasp. It's not made aware. I'm made aware because I was lucky in rubbing in shoulders with comrades and communists and different people on the left.
Bill's moved to the left and he's stayed there, and he sounds like he's very happy there.